Here's the 30-second lesson on what legends know. Never practice nunchucks in a crowded room. Never eat chole before a road trip. Always take your shirt off before you iron it. Don't take a call near a swimming pool. And don't forget, saving is not investing. Legends don't just save, they invest in mutual funds. Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
I often use situations and metaphors from cricket to explain political complexities or to simplify them. You know that weakness of mine. This, however, is the season of the Olympics and Euro 2024. So football and hockey would be more contextual. Therefore, let's go ahead and see how a typical turn in a hockey or football game applies to the way national politics has moved, as indicate at the end of this monsoon/budget session of Parliament. Take your mind back to the hockey quarter-final in which India played with 10 against Great Britain for 42 minutes. This is after Amit Rohidas was sent away with a red card. Taking advantage of numbers, Great Britain attacked relentlessly as India struggled to put men in front because you needed everybody back in defense. It was rare that you could put men in front in attack. But on the odd occasion that they did, the game seemed dramatically altered, like that one occasion soon after the red card when India managed their attack and actually scored a goal. That is called a counter after having been on the defensive for a very long time, push to the ball. Okay, in this case, the ball was the magnificent PR Srijesh. This is precisely what is playing out in national politics right now. Let me try and explain. That the 2024 general election has rebalanced national politics has been known since 4th of June. The entire opposition pushed to the wall and hopeless for a decade, as India was for most of those 42 minutes. It has now found a well-earned opening for a counter. It's just that it wasn't widely expected that the counter would be so strong and effective as to force the winner to alter their own plans and strategy, because after all, BJP still won this election, or BJP and its allies. In the process, Rahul Gandhi, the politician more mocked and ridiculed than any other in our history, is now seen in an entirely different light. See objectively, however, what is happening now. Here is a list of ideas and campaign points that came up in the election campaign from the Congress. Number 1, joblessness among the youth, subsidies to create more employment, and a nationwide internship plan. 2, cash giveaways to the poor, the jobless, and the farmers. 3, a legal guarantee for MSP, minimum support price, for all major crops and loan waivers for farmers. Next, questions over the Agnipath scheme and also the threat to roll it back or withdraw it if they came to power. Next, a nationwide caste census and then reallocation of government benefits and spoils according to each section's numerical strength and socio-economic status. Many of these were simply dismissed by the BJP as falsehoods. In fact, there was a talk of so many crores of jobs having been created under the 2 terms of Modi government, India being the fastest growing major economy in the world, on way to becoming the 3rd largest economy, so on and so forth. All caste issues were ducked and generally countered with even stronger appeals to Hindu opinion. In fact, the Congress's approach to distributive socialism following a caste census was dismissed contemptuously as revdis. In simpler English, the argument was that the Congress wanted to buy votes by distributing free candy, free mithai. Now we also need to list what's been happening lately. The third Modi government has quickly moved away from its dismissal of all the Rahul/Congress ideas as unimaginative and useless jokes. It is now implementing several of the same. Take, for example, number 1, this budget makes sizable allocations and promises to directly address the unemployment challenge. So there is an unemployment challenge that's been accepted politically. There are incentives for companies to hire more and cash incentives, by the way, and a plan for 10 million, 1 crore internships over 5 years. BJP state governments, especially those heading for elections, are already expanding agricultural MSP. The Haryana government, for example, has extended MSP to all 24 major crops in the state from the previous 14. If you check out the full page advertisements in your newspapers these days, you also see a plethora of other freebies in Haryana. LPG cylinders at just rupees 500 to 46 lakh families. Imagine, Haryana, the last census was in 2011 as for the rest of the country. So you would estimate today the population would be about no more than 3.5 crores, if that much. Take 5 to a family, 46 lakh families. It means more than 2/3 of the families will get these cheap LPG cylinders in a state which, from one year to the other, ranks between 1 to 3 among the richest in the country based on per capita income. In addition, a free milk scheme for schoolgirls and the waiving of canal water cess, or what's called as Abhiyana. And you know what? Next point, there is free bus travel for all members of families with annual incomes up to rupees 1 lakh for up to 1,000 kilometers a month. Right? Karnataka was only giving it to women. The BJP had been ridiculing similar schemes in Delhi, Karnataka and Telangana. Those were for just women. Now it's for the entire family. This was in fact the very definition of political revdi or electoral revdi. The state has also raised, Haryana has also raised the creamy layer income limit for its OBCs to rupees 8 lakhs per year from 6 lakhs. Haryana done, it's even more worthwhile now to look at Maharashtra. It has already rolled out revdis that will cost it at least 96,000 crores per year. 96,000 crores per year. That's almost ₹1 trillion per year. Some highlights for you. Number one, women, youths, senior citizens below an income level, as well as the unique sect of Varkaris, the casteless Bhakti cult followers, about 16 lakh in number, will all get cash handouts and subsidies. The Varkaris will get subsidies for their annual Pandharpur pilgrimage as well. Wait till Yogi unveils something similar for the Kamwadiyas before his state elections in Uttar Pradesh in 2027. Next, a monthly stipend of rupees 1,500 for women in the 21 to 65 age group with an annual income below rupees 2.5 lakhs. Just the cost of this scheme alone is 46,000 crores. Next, 6-month stipends for class 12 pass, that is at rupees 6,000, diploma holders rupees 8,000 and graduates rupees 10,000 to help them train and reskill. Please stay with me as I come to the next point. Each family of 5 in Maharashtra will get 3 free LPG cylinders per year. I would think that all of this adds up to sufficient evidence that it's the opposition, which had cowered in defense for a decade, that's now setting the agenda at this point. From mocking such distribution, the BJP itself has become a revdis for votes party. The underdog is repositioning the top dog. Just in case you are inclined to dismiss all of this as election eve profligacy, ठीक है, election के पहले करते हैं लोग. We can then move on to a more substantive, durable, in fact, eternally so, an eternal ideological issue in our politics. See if the same logic, the dominant team falling back on the defensive and the one that's been on the defensive for a decade suddenly discovering the panache or the mojo or the wherewithal to counterattack. See if that applies here. Since 1989, we've maintained one binary has determined who will rule India. Can you employ caste to divide what religion united, which means can you employ caste to divide the Hindu vote? Or can you use religion, Hinduism or Hindutva to reunite what caste divided? We've often said that for the first 25 years, caste won. That's why 1989 to 2014, caste-based parties, the Congress and alliance with them when that happened, they ruled the country most of the time. The rise of Narendra Modi in 2014 saw the unification of the larger Hindu vote cutting across the caste divides. This is when the epoch of religion or Hindutva began. This was challenged again by Rahul Gandhi with his caste census slogan this time. He has brought it up again in Parliament and asserted that his party will ensure a caste census from this Parliament, as he said. The BJP has struggled to find an answer. It is because of a paucity of ideas on the caste issue that the BJP is doubling down on religion. The new Waqf bill, Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma's talk of land jihad, Yogi Adityanath's proposed legislative amendment to bring in life imprisonment for love jihad, and Rajasthan Chief Minister Bhajanlal Sharma accusing one community of not controlling its population and the need for measures to counter that. These are all instinctive defensive moves. I also call it confusion because the same approach was used by the BJP in the general elections but did not work. But when you're short of ideas, what do? You hunker down and you employ the only tricks of the trade that you know. The BJP, in fact, is struggling with the caste issue again. Forget a caste census. It isn't even talking of holding the normal decennial census, a census every 10 years, delayed since 2021. Meanwhile, Delhi has seen the rise of a beautiful Janganna Bhavan, a census bhavan. You can see it if you come to Delhi, or if you live in Delhi, or if you come to Delhi, go to Taj Mahal Hotel at Mansingh Road. You can see right across the street there is this beautiful new building called Janganna Bhavan. So the Bhavan has been built, but there is no talk of the 2021 census. The BJP itself talked of subcategorization of the backward classes and set up a commission under retired Delhi High Court Chief Justice G. Rohini to examine it. But it is sitting on the report. In fact, the report was to be submitted in 3 months, kept on getting extensions. The commission took about 6 years. The report was submitted in July last year, 2023. And since then, the government has kept it under the wraps, although it was its own idea. If the government moves towards subcategorization, a caste census will become imperative, handing another victory to Rahul Gandhi. If it doesn't, the redivision of the Hindu vote along caste lines will gather pace. On this issue, the opposition does not have to do very much. It can sit back and watch because it does not rule any Hindi state. This situation is now further complicated by the Supreme Court with its latest judgment, which gives the government constitutional and legal powers to create subcategorization among the backward and scheduled caste and even scheduled tribe groups. Does the central government now and also the BJP run states, do they completely ignore this? What position do they take on it? I see quite a bit of buzz that maybe the BJP should amend the constitution to set aside the impact of this Supreme Court judgment. But the BJP cannot even whisper the thought of amending the constitution, given how big an issue it was in the latest election campaign. That's why the BJP is like a team in the lead. They are still in the lead, but thrown on the defensive and searching for ideas to break out with the challenger in full press.